Mills Weather Center, Oklahoma weather expert, Lacey Swope.
All right, we're tracking rain this morning. Had heavy rain and thunderstorms overnight in the west and northwest. You're waking up to those rain gauges. Some areas have had over 1.5 inches of beneficial rain. Now, as the showers continue to ride along I-40, north sides of the metro have a better chance of rain this morning than the south sides. That's for sure. So here's where we're headed. A few storms, but nothing severe. This afternoon, we're going to monitor the dry line in western Oklahoma. Severe storms will be possible, but very isolated in nature. Most locations, chances less than 20%. Tomorrow afternoon, there is a strong cap or lid in place across Oklahoma, but just underneath that, very warm, very unstable. And if a storm can break that cap, it would be a dangerous situation tomorrow with the threats. And I'll tell you about that. Tomorrow night, the cold front tries to fire as it arrives, and that actually brings a better chance of rain to portions of Oklahoma. And then the storm threat isn't quite as high along the cold front. Here's what's going on this morning. Scattered showers, a few thunderstorms to the west, still raining back in the Panhandle. Portions of our Panhandle have had over 1.5 inches of rain, most rain in almost a year. Yeah, it's been a great rain. A few scattered showers to the north, heaviest storms near Watonga and back near Hydro. Still getting some thunderstorms out into Ellis County. Here in the Oklahoma City metro, there's rain from Edmond back over to Piedmont, back down to El Reno, back over to Shawnee, Little Cromwell. Everything, the direction this morning is easterly, so moving towards the east at about 40 miles per hour. Now, a new cell went up just south of Clinton, picking up in intensity some near Corn and Weatherford, which just means your rainfall totals will be just a little bit higher. May get some pea-sized hail. It's what we're seeing out near Greenfield. No hail showing up in the metro, just the scattered showers. That green line is the outflow boundary that's been shoved out from those thunderstorms. It's kind of a cool north wind. And then up to the north, still tracking the light to moderate rain. Putting a track on the thunderstorm activity, moving into El Reno at about 6:08, Edmond 6:12, holds together, Chandler 6:53, and we'll track it all the way off into eastern Oklahoma. Best chance of rain, north sides of the metro, south sides 20 to a 30% chance. Currently dry in Guthrie. It's 63 degrees. This morning, winds are gusting 15, 25. We've had some winds in the thunderstorms, 45 plus. That's possible. Temperatures are in the mid 60s, and this afternoon, 70s and 80s. Now, the dry line today will set up right here along the Oklahoma-Texas border. Most of your afternoon and evening is dry. There's a 10 to a 20% chance along that boundary that a storm forms, and if it does, it could produce some golf ball size hail, 70-mile-an-hour winds, and a very low tornado threat. Overnight tonight, a chance of rain in the northeast, most of the state dry with temperatures in the mid 60s. And then we already have our storms lined up. Tomorrow's storm right on its heels, and Sunday night storm out over the Pacific. The question tomorrow is, with that lid in the atmosphere, that cap in place, can a storm form? And there is still some data that suggests 1, 2, maybe 3 storms fire tomorrow along the dry line and press to the east. If that happens, they will grow very rapidly, and the threat for large hail, tornadoes, damaging winds, all present. So tomorrow, 70s, 80s, and then behind the dry line, desert-like air. Temperatures climb to the upper 90s. Fire threat extreme. On the east side of the dry line, that's where the humidity will be through the roof. That is where the instability will be high. And if storms form, they could produce up to tennis ball size hail. But remember, you have to get a storm first. And much of the data suggests we just don't see very many. And some data suggests we see none at all. So tomorrow's not locked in. But tomorrow, just like we've seen several times this week, is one of those days you've got to stay tuned. Into your afternoon and evening, damaging winds in excess of 75 miles per hour would be possible. And I'm telling you, the way the tornado zone is setting up, if a storm forms and has that tornado threat, the tornadoes tomorrow, if they were to develop, could be on the stronger side. That's why we're really trying to get your attention to just have that News 9 app with you. Make sure you're making your Friday afternoon and evening plans, but you're staying aware. You have ways, multiple ways, to get warnings should a storm form in your area. The general chance tomorrow is 20% or less. It's slightly higher in northern Oklahoma. Better chance of storms will be along the cold front when that swings through tomorrow night into early Saturday. Those storms will be what we call elevated, more of kind of wind and hail producers. So we're going to watch for that. In the metro, still a 20% chance. Another chance of storms Sunday night, and unsettled into next week. That's your 9 day. We're back with more right after this.